We met while working in a temp job at a corporate company, administrative type work. And
how long ago?
3 years ago.
Okay.
Now, yeah. And so she ended up getting a full-time position. Good for her. And I was not able to get a full-time position, but we did stay in touch because we were friends and we talked on the phone, and I did let her know that I was struggling financially and struggling to find work. And while we were on the phone one day, she was like, well, I need a roommate. So she invited me to move in with her. And I came.
You didn't have a job when she invited you to move in with her?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Did you have any savings?
I had some savings. I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much was the rent supposed to be?
$1,000 she said she was thinking of doing for rent.
And what did you say? Yes, okay, that's fine?
I brought $1,000 for the first month rent because I did want to show I was there to be a good roommate. But I did also clarify from the beginning that I was not employed at the time. So I did pay that first
Right, but
month.
I mean, what was the rent going to be? She needed a roommate. It wasn't just to help you out. She also needed a roommate.
Well, as a friend, she did offer to be helpful at this time.
Yes. Yeah, and utilities, you weren't going to be paying utilities.
She never specified.
Did you expect her to also pay utilities, or was the $1,000 all you needed to add?
I didn't press her about the utilities. We only discussed the monthly rent, which would be $1,000.
So I imagine then that kind of sounds like utilities are included, but I know that you're suing for the utilities, and we'll talk about that in a second. But all right, so all she mentions is $1,000. You agree to $1,000. You pay her $1,000, and month 2, what do you do?
Well, month 2, I'm still unemployed. So I do give her $500, just as, again, a good faith movement.
No, it's rent. It's not good faith. It's not nice. It's not as a favor. It's rent. Go on.
Well, that could have also been clarified earlier about the
I'm sorry, what did you think was happening? You got your own room, right?
I did get my own room, and she's my friend.
The last place where you were at, did your landlord have to clarify every month what the rent was, or did your landlord
we had a contract.
Yeah, okay, well, you can have a verbal contract though, right?
I don't think that was ever really specified.
What do you mean? You were paying, the rent is $1,000 and you're moving in. Like, how much more has to be specified? Did you think rent was going to change every month depending on what you felt you could pay?
No, I felt like it was, I'm looking for $1,000, kind of up for conversation.
Well, did you have any other conversation and say, I can only afford $750?
I did.
When did you have that conversation? Month 2 after you moved in?
Yeah.
You're right. I mean beforehand, so that everybody is on the same page before you move in.
Right.
All right. So the only conversation is $1,000. So one would be within their right mind to think that month 2 it happens again. Rent is an every 30-day thing, right? Okay. So now you have a dog.
Correct.
You have a dog.
Yes.
Your dog is neither spayed nor neutered.
That's correct.
Neither is yours.
Correct.
Your dog is a girl or boy?
A girl.
Your dog is a boy. So what happened?
My dog, Lola, a golden retriever, got pregnant.
And what is your dog?
A doodle.
Okay. And wow, we didn't see that coming. Right? Like, did you guys really not see that coming?
No, we didn't plan for that.
Well, you may not have planned it, but if you had the dogs around each other and then they're in heat, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to do what animals do, right? Did you tell her, oh, our dogs did it behind our back?
Yeah. No, I mentioned it for
And you were both happy, though. You weren't upset.
Well, we were like, puppies are adorable.
Okay.
You know, so.
All right. And what was the plan, though? Were you going to keep all these puppies, or the plan was to sell them?
Well, I knew that we could sell them for a significant amount of money.
Like how much?
Between $2,000 to $8,000. Golden doodles are very expensive dogs.
What dog did you have?
I had the golden retriever, the female.
And you had a what?
A Labradoodle.
A Labradoodle. Well, it kind of depends on the pedigree of the dogs, how much you can sell them for.
Both of our dogs were purebred dogs, and then they had these.
So can I just understand how 2 women with purebred dogs of a different gender who plan on breeding them and who have not spayed or neutered them didn't see it coming? There are 2 different contracts between you 2.
Yeah.
And be there no mistake, they are contracts. Whether they're written or verbal, they are contracts. One of them is she pays $1,000 rent a month. And the other one is we split the sale of the puppies, right?
Yes.
50-50.
Yes.
So there's two contracts that are going on here. All right? And then you took it upon yourself to, offset one against the other, but then you end up deciding to sell the puppies at $750 a piece.
Well, also as a friend at the time, I don't want to put her out. I'm trying to be as lenient.
Why don't you talk to her as a friend? Like, why don't you tell her, listen, you owe rent, I'm going to sell the puppies, I need the money, and you're not going to get any of it. I'm going to sell it for whatever I want. How
As I
about
said,
that?
she
If
was
you're really
very-
friends and trying to keep the friendship, how about communication?
She was very dismissive every time I tried to communicate.
Yeah, I know, so say it at her. You sold them for how much? $750? How did you not know they were being sold? Like, were they sold to the same person? Were they sold all on the same day? What is it that went on that 4 of them got sold and you didn't notice?
Sure. So I had secured a position at that point. I went to work, and when I got back from work, the
4
dogs
of them
were
had
gone.
been sold. Who did you sell 4 of them to?
I sold them at my work company.
Okay, to 4 different people?
Yes.
Okay. So you had it planned. Or how? How did that work? Did you bring the puppies to work and people just...
I did have it planned if she didn't come to me sooner with rent that I was going to take initiative myself and just sell the puppies and get what was owed.
Why didn't you just talk to her about that?
I just feel like, again, every time I tried to communicate, she just dismissed me.
What happened to the 5th puppy?
The 5th puppy actually had a virus in its lungs, so it ended up in the hospital.
And where is it now?
I'm still paying for its medical care.
Is it still in the vet?
Yes.
At the vet hospital?
Yes.
Has she sued you for half of the vet care of the 5th dog?
Well, I've paid for the initial vaccines for the puppies. What I'm actually a little upset about is that you're supposed to keep puppies with their mom for 8 weeks, and she sold them at 4 weeks.
How did you even do that? Why did you do that? Because it is true you're supposed to keep puppies with the mom for 8 weeks. Why did you sell them at 4? It's kind of irresponsible.
Yes, again, at the time, I'm just taking the initiative because I needed what you owed. You put me in a financial
That doesn't change
hole.
when you should sell the puppies. You should sell the puppies when it's best for the puppies and the mom, not when it's best for you, when you need the cash, and you need the cash, and you do it behind her back. Jeez.
And I'm sorry, if I may, the 5th puppy probably wouldn't be sick also if they had received better care, so.
And now, where are you? You're not living together anymore.
No.
All right, and you are suing for the cost of, because she's keeping this other dog, you're suing for the cost of 5 puppies at $750 for half of that, which you believe you're entitled to as the owner of the mom dog. And you say that she owes you $2,000. Well, you're also suing for the utilities as well. Mm-hmm. And why should I force her to pay utilities when that was never discussed?
Just out of how lenient I've been with her and everything that I've done up until this point, I feel like she's
I mean, if you knew that she
taken
didn't have a steady job, why would you want her as a roommate? Like, I would understand why you'd want to help her out, but why would you want her as a roommate who's paying and then be shocked and appalled that she didn't pay if she still hadn't been
I thought
able...
by the 2nd month I would definitely see a turnaround, and that didn't happen.
Do you think she was lazy? Or do you think she was just unlucky and was trying hard?
I think she was a little bit all over the place. Like, she never knew what she wanted to do with her life. I constantly gave her advice. I motivated her to try new things and new opportunities, and she was just very stagnant.
Okay. How are you living now? Did you get a job?
I did, thank you.
Okay, and do you have roommates or...
I do.
Do you have another roommate?
I do. I have a new tenant, and they now pay $1,300 plus the utilities. So that's
Right.
been a great situation.
Okay. All right, so everybody's happy. So now what we got to do is we got to figure out where money goes, okay, where money's owed, all right? She's suing for half of what you sold the puppies for, including half of the one you kept, and valuing it at $750, even though she feels like she could have sold them for between $2,000 and $8,000, right? Then you feel that what you're entitled to is the rent that you were supposed to be paid, plus for good measure, now you got to pay utilities, even though we never talked about that. I'm going to enforce the contracts you guys actually had. And so she owes you $2,250 in rent, and you owe her $1,875 in dog, which means that I am ruling in your favor a net judgment, because you have a counterclaim against her for the rent, a net judgment in your favor in the amount of $375 because she owes you rent, you owe her monies from the dog, and the difference is $375. Verdict for the defendant.
This is one ruling by Judge Millian when there are absolutely zero questions. You have two contracts running simultaneously. The plaintiff owes money, the defendant owes money, and together the ruling is what is left in that sum. And what did you guys think about this case? Do you think that the puppies could have been sold from $2,000 to $8,000 each? Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. Please put it in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.